That's a eel.
Is it good?
Very good.
What you got?
Minamasam.
Magandang araw sa inyo mga kalaboy. Ako'y nasa labuyan na naman at naghahanap ng pwedeng maibabahagi sa inyo. Nakaraan, patungkol ito sa China, yung mga puputok na battery ng e-bike. At ngayon may nasagap na naman tayo, mga pagkain daw ng mga peke. Nakala natin na ito totoo at masarap, subalit ito pa rin nagdudulot ng masama o sakit sa atin na pwede nating ikamatay. Ito yung mga tinatawag na fake toxin na mga pagkain, mga artificial ito, Sa China na naman ito, pero hindi ko naman sinasabi na lahat ng Chinese is gumagawa nito. So, paalala lang po. Ang mga Chinese food, mga kalaboy, napakasasarap daw nito. Pero kung magawi ka man daw sa China at bago ka kumain, kung ikay gutom, mag-isip ka muna. Karamihan sa mga Tsino ngayon, ito ang problema nila. Lumalalang problema ay ang pagdami ng mga pekeng pagkain. Mga pagkain gawa sa toxin na nagdudulot ng kasamaan sa ating katawan kapag ito'y kinain natin. So, ito yung unang-unang example natin mga kalaboy.
Eggs made out of wax.
Ooh, wow, I didn't expect that at all. I really didn't expect that.
Who doesn't love eggs? They're so versatile and they go with just about everything. In China, tea eggs and century eggs are very popular. Salted duck eggs are another delicious Chinese staple. However, there have been many reports over the years of fake eggs made from inedible and toxic materials. The egg whites and yolk are reportedly made from resin and pigments, while the shells are made from wax, calcium carbonate, and gypsum powder. The fake eggs apparently look exactly like the real thing, and the only surefire way to tell the difference is by cooking them. According to a Time article published in 2012, fake eggs have been a problem since the 1990s in China. Unfortunately, it's hard to tell what's fact or fiction when it comes to fake eggs. One viral video that recently made the rounds on Facebook was believed to be about fake Chinese eggs, but in reality, the video showed the production of a children's slime toy in South Korea. Still, it's better to be safe than sorry. If you buy eggs from China, you definitely shouldn't eat them raw like Rocky. Cooking them will reveal whether they're the real deal or a potentially harmful imitation. Fake duck blood.
Feeling better? I must have moved.
Duck blood may be unappetizing to Western palates, but it's a delicacy in China. It's used to make a hearty soup that's extremely popular in Jiangsu province. If you're traveling in Nanjing, you'll find many restaurants that serve up this bizarre specialty. Duck blood soup often contains vermicelli noodles, green beans, dried shrimp, dried tofu, duck liver, duck intestines, ginger, shallots, and, of course, congealed duck blood. Unfortunately, not all duck blood is safe to consume. The South China Morning Post reported that an enterprising criminal in Shaanxi province was making fake congealed duck blood from lower quality cow and sheep's blood. That's bad enough already, but the criminal was also using toxic formaldehyde to preserve the blood and pass it off as a gourmet delicacy. There was also a Bonnie and Clyde-esque fake duck blood ring in Jiangsu province. A husband and wife team were using chicken blood and mixing it with inedible dye and printing agents to give it a more vibrant color. When police arrested the couple, they found the pair had produced as much as 1 ton of fake duck blood. Needless to say, Chinese foodies were angry. Many have posted their displeasure about the prevalence of fake duck blood on social media site Weibo. Fake duck blood may look like the real thing, but it's actually fairly easy to identify. Apparently, real uncooked duck blood is delicate and will break apart easily with chopsticks. The fake stuff is firmer and harder to break. Rat meat.
Stop that health inspector!
There's nothing inherently wrong with eating rat meat. Andrew Zimmern tried roasted rat meat when he visited Vietnam, and he quite enjoyed it. Would you chow down on a huge rat kebab? Giant rice field rats are eaten in many Asian countries, including China. However, it's not everyone who wants to eat rat meat. There have been many Chinese foodies who have been duped into eating rat, thinking it was mutton, lamb, duck, or pork. Back in 2013, police in eastern China broke up a notorious criminal ring that was accused of selling fake meat. The food vendors were reportedly buying fox, mink, and rat meat and injecting it with gelatin to make it look like lamb. In the first half of 2013, Chinese authorities seized 20,000 tons of illegal meat products that were either fake or contaminated. But you still need to keep your guard up and watch out for fake meat in China. It might taste like chicken, but it could be rat. Metal-tainted rice.
It tastes like feet.
In China, rice is eaten with just about every meal. However, there are many risks when it comes to eating rice in China. There have been reports of tainted rice laced with cadmium and other harmful metals. The metal-tainted rice is reportedly due to China's pollution problem. According to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, cadmium is a human carcinogen. Therefore, people in China must be vigilant and be on the lookout for cadmium-tainted rice. In 2013, the New York Times reported that Guangzhou officials found tainted rice in nearly half of all restaurants tested. Needless to say, rice containing any carcinogen is extremely harmful. Being exposed to toxic substances might turn you into a superhero in comic books, but in real life, you could end up in the hospital or worse. There have also been unsubstantiated reports of fake rice made out of plastic. Over the past 10 years, numerous news organizations throughout Asia have reported on fake rice made from a synthetic resin or rolled up bits of paper. The Korean Times even reported that eating 3 bowls of plastic rice is the equivalent of eating 1 plastic bag. However, these reports have never been verified. While there are real dangers associated with eating rice in China, plastic rice is likely a myth. Fake honey filled with pesticides.
You're busted, box boy.
Chinese people love honey almost as much as Winnie the Pooh. Unfortunately, there's a big problem with fake and pesticide-tainted honey in China. Honey in China is often cut with brown rice sugar, corn syrup, or sugar water. Unless you're Edgar the Bug from Men in Black, you probably don't want sugar water in your honey. This fake honey is so diluted that it doesn't even have pollen in it anymore. You're probably thinking, what's the big deal? Just because it's heavily processed doesn't mean it's fake. Well, if it doesn't have pollen in it, it's technically not honey. Fake Chinese honey can even be tainted with illegal antibiotics, heavy metals, and harmful pesticide residue. Even if you live in the West, you might not be safe. According to Time, 3/4 of honey from around the globe contains pesticides. China ships fake honey all over the world, and it's notoriously difficult to stop. The US even slapped tariffs on Chinese honey, but fake Chinese honey is still reaching store shelves in America. China simply started shipping the fake honey to other Asian countries first to get around the duties. If you want real honey, buy local raw honey at a farmer's market. Gutter oil.
You don't look very well, Annie. I feel fine.
If you're traveling in Shenzhen, you need to be careful. That fried squid for sale at a street food stall might look tasty, but it could be deadly. Chances are high that it was cooked with gutter oil. Gutter oil is exactly what it sounds like. It's recycled oil that was literally harvested from the gutter. Gutter oil vendors haul the disgusting slop of used animal fat from the sewer and send it to a facility for processing. The final product may look like regular cooking oil, but it's extremely dangerous. Gutter oil may contain sewage, heavy metals, and even hazardous chemicals. If you consume gutter oil and end up with a bad case of diarrhea, consider yourself lucky. Long-term consumption of gutter oil can make you extremely sick. It can cause liver cancer, stomach cancer, kidney problems, and cirrhosis. Some Chinese people bring their own cooking oil from home when they go to a restaurant just to be safe. Chinese experts believe that as much as 1/10 of the cooking oil in China is actually gutter oil. Industrial salt.
How is that? Salty.
In 2017, the Beijing News uncovered a huge underground counterfeit food operation that was producing fake seasonings using harmful industrial salt rather than plain old cooking salt. Industrial salt is used in making glass, tires, plastics, and leather. It's even used to clean oil and gas wells. Needless to say, it's not something you'd want to ingest. Following the discovery, Chinese authorities were dispatched to investigate further. What they found was absolutely shocking. Police discovered nearly 50 factories near Tianjin that were producing counterfeit seasoning. The counterfeiters were using industrial salt to make everything from soy sauce to vinegar to chicken bouillon. The criminal ring had been making millions of dollars per year and was reportedly in operation for over 10 years. The industrial salt recovered by the Chinese police at the scene was carcinogenic and extremely dangerous. Common effects of long-term consumption include kidney failure, liver failure, and nervous system damage. So, how did the counterfeiters get away with their scam for so long? Well, the fake seasonings looked authentic and were even labeled as reputable brands like Maggi and Knorr. The counterfeiters even had security cameras and hired locals to watch out for police. A fake Gucci bag is one thing, but fake soy sauce? That's truly disturbing. Fake shrimp filled with gelatin.
You know how many calories are in one of those shrimps? A lot.
Thanks to Bubba from Forrest Gump, we know that shrimp is extremely versatile. However, you better be careful if you're eating shrimp or prawns in China. There have been many reports of prawns and shrimp being injected with gelatin to make them look fresher. Those plump prawns at the wet market might look like they were just caught, but the truth is they could be days old. What's worse is that the gel could be toxic. The gel that's used to plump up prawns is actually made from collagen, bones, and animal skin. However, there are fears that cheaper and toxic materials could be used to make the gelatin. There have been reports of gel-injected seafood in China since the mid-2000s, but the problem seems to be getting worse year after year. A report from the People's Daily also found that seahorses and sea cucumbers were being injected with gelatin. You probably don't have to worry about that. Seriously, when was the last time you ate a seahorse? In 2017, food safety authorities seized 3 batches of gel-injected frozen shrimp from a market in Guangdong province. The heads and bodies were glued together with gel, and they looked a little bit too perfect. There have also been reports of gelatin-injected prawns in Vietnam. Vietnam is one of the largest shrimp exporters in the world, and the Daily Mail reported that gel-injected black tiger prawns and white-leg shrimp had made their way to Australia. You might want to think twice about picking up that box of frozen prawns the next time you're at the supermarket. Tainted milk powder.
Would you like a drink after takeoff?
Milk?
The 2008 Chinese milk scandal might just be the biggest food scandal in all of history. Melamine, which is an extremely harmful chemical that's used to manufacture flame-retardant plastic and fertilizer, was first found in Sanlu Group's milk powder and baby formula in late 2007. Because of widespread corruption within the company, as well as corruption within government organizations, little was done about the contamination until September 2008, after New Zealand-based company Fonterra, which owned a 43% stake in Sanlu Group, was alerted to the problem. New Zealand government officials had to confront officials in China before anything was done about the problem. 296,000 children were affected, with almost 53,000 hospitalized. After investigations, it was confirmed that 6 infants died as a result of the contaminated milk. The melamine-laced milk formula reportedly caused kidney stones and kidney damage in the infants. There were many widespread consequences following the scandal. Sanlu Group went belly up, 11 foreign countries halted all Chinese dairy imports, numerous arrests were made, and prison sentences were handed out. In 2010, researchers from Peking University published a study based on the incident. They found that many of the infants affected recovered. However, 12% of children still had kidney abnormalities 6 months later. Concrete walnuts.
Whoa, what is it?
It's a walnut.
Sometimes walnuts are hard to crack, but if they're impossible to open, then you might have been scammed. That might seem ridiculous, but it's a serious problem in China. The scam first surfaced back in 2013 when a man in Hainan province bought 2.5 kilos of walnuts from a street vendor, only to discover that they weren't actually walnuts at all. The shells were real, but inside, he found concrete chips instead of tasty walnut meat. Imagine if you accidentally swallowed swallowed a tiny piece of concrete. Swallowing cement can burn your throat, lips, and stomach, and hardened concrete could easily cause a gastrointestinal blockage or bowel obstruction. Chinese fraudsters can make a tidy profit by taking old walnut shells and filling them with concrete and paper or tissues. They sell the nut meat first, and then, instead of discarding the shells, they pass them on to an unsuspecting mark. Tricksters can double their money with this unscrupulous hack. Keep watching and check out another great Babble Top video.
Ayan mga kalaboy, at nakita natin ganun pala kagrabe at kadaming mga peking pagkain na naglalabasan ngayon. Pero yun nga lang, hindi ko naman minamasama o di naman natin sinasabi na lahat ng tao nang nandun sa China ay gumagawa ng peke. Pero merong mga kontrabando na pilit gumagawa ng mga artificial. Parang yung kwento dati sa maling lang, di ba? Parang dati paborito ko yan, pero ngayon hindi mo na ako mapapakain yan. Pero kumalat na nga daw yung mga binibenta mga peking mga kontrabandong peking, mga pagkain, spices, asin, gatas, patang asukal siguro meron na rin dito sa ating Pilipinas, nakaabot na rin siguro sa mga merkado natin. Pero gayon pa man, ang sa atin lang naman paalala lang, mag-ingat sa pagpili at pagbili ng mga pagkain. Naalala ko yung siopaw sarap na sarap din ako dyan. Ang palaman pala na nilagay nila na asado is tissue paper ba? Iba, kartolina. Ako, grabe na. Okay, mga Kalaboy, maraming salamat at sa susunod uli sa ating lalakwats at makahagap na naman tayo ng mga bagong balita. Okay, maraming salamat.